What's going on, guys? We are back in the backyard, guys. Fantasy football full flow. It is August, almost near late August here, and a lot of people are doing their drafts. And in this video, I've got count them five, including some bonus ones if you listen carefully. That's why I encourage people to listen to the whole video. Some bonus mid-round gems. Yes, sleepers, because if you're coming off of the mid-round and you can finish as a top 10 guy, potentially you are a sleeper. But I like to call them gems. Whatever you want to call them, you should be drafting these players, okay? 5 mid-round gems. And some people have a lot of questions at this point because, like, Joe, I figured out rounds 1, 2, and 3. What do I do in those mid-rounds? I would even consider round 4 a mid-round. People get confused at that point. So I got some mid-round gems. I'm going to talk a little bit about them, why I love them. 5 of them here for you, including some bonuses. Ready to dive into it. Buckle up. Let's get to it. All right, let's talk about these sleepers, guys, mid-round gems. Let's dive into it. Before we do, though, make sure you guys grab that 16-round draft so it'll put you light years ahead of the competition. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players drafted each round. Everything you need to be light years ahead of your competition. They won't even know it hit them. You'll be on like the 7th, 8th round. They'll be looking at drafting defenses and kickers. You'll be stashing. There's not enough bench spots to fill the amount of players you guys are going to have here that are sleepers, okay? 16-round draft solution. Get it below. I've linked it. Use code SMASH to save, or head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com right now. Now, again, here are those mid-round. Actually, I'll save a mid-round gem at the end as a bonus, but I want to talk a little bit about some of these guys that are breaking out in preseason already. Jalen Hyatt, for example. Tank Bigsby looks absolutely phenomenal. These are guys that sheep are sleeping on, and you can say, well, Joe, they're already talking about Tank Bigsby. Dude, I was talking about Deuce Vaughn back in May, and now they're starting to talk about him. They're talking about Jalen Hyatt now with the big catch in preseason, but we're talking Tank Bigsby. If they like Tank Bigsby so much, why aren't they ranking him ahead of ATN? I'm telling you to avoid ATN and grab Bigsby. And that's where the 16-round draft solution makes a difference, because you're able to omit players. You're not just going off rankings. Rankings won't help you win. You're omitting players that are going to potentially bust or not be as good as their ADP, and you're grabbing their counterpart that could either supersede them or be great value, okay? So again, Tank Bigsby, there's a bonus one for you. I'll give you another one at the end here. If you're listening carefully, you just got a bunch right there as well, sleepers. All right, the first mid-round gem, he's not really mid-round, he's like round 4, but I still count that still counts as mid-round. Round 4 here, guys, I'll give you a mid-round gem here, Drake London. Now, if you watch preseason week 2, love the upside. If you saw that amazing catch by the sideline, he is currently sitting at, believe it or not, wide receiver 25, which is absolutely ludicrous because this guy is a wide receiver 1 on his team. 45 overall on the rankings, but understand he's a wide receiver 1 on his team. From what I've seen out of preseason out of Desmond Ridder, he looks like he is settled in. Improved team overall, better coaching, guys. They got Bijan Robinson, Bijan, right? I love Drake London this year. He's a mid-round gem. And again, what you're doing when you are doing drafting, when you're looking at these sleepers, you're aiming high on the depth chart, okay? That's what you're doing. And Drake London's on top of the depth chart with minimal competition or no competition at all. They've got Hollins there. They got Pitts. They got Bijan, but Drake London, mid-round gem, absolutely love him. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys do subscribe. And if you are new, some of these names may not resonate with you, or I may not have, you may not see other channels talking about them. If you are a regular, you hear some of these names on repeat, but I want to enforce and hammer in the players that I do like, okay? 2 of them here I haven't talked about as much, including that bonus one at the end, all right? So Drake London, mid-round gem. Another mid-round gem who's a wide receiver 56. Guys, this guy's coming off after round 8. All right, the guy I'm talking about is ROMEO DOUBS. Absolutely love this guy, who can potentially be the wide receiver 1 on his team. When you're looking for that value and that wide receiver that can be a solid flex play, look no further than ROMEO DOUBS. Now, this guy was a 4th-round pick last year. Had some flashes to shine, but he can really be the wide receiver 1. Now, I've said this before. Christian Watson's more expensive and better, physically more gifted. But when you're looking at value, when you're looking at a guy that can run the slant, he could pretty much do anything. And he ran a quick slant route. I think it was a slant on the first preseason week 1 game and ran it for a touchdown. He's quick, he's elusive, can be really good in PPR. Again, he could run that inside route. And that's the nice thing about him. Whereas I feel, I could be wrong, that Watson has kind of that one-trick pony written all over him. I could be wrong, right? but I feel that Romeo is a little more diverse and flexible is the word. A little more gadgetry. I'm trying to find the right word, guys. Help me out in the comments, right? Whereas again, Christian Watson, I just hope he doesn't run into that like deep ball kind of guy. I hope he does run other routes other than just the deep ball. But again, you're going to have to see here how this year pans out, because he was a big deep threat target for Aaron Rodgers, was Christian Watson, whereas I think Romeo Doubs could be used a lot more often and more frequently inside, outside, and all around. So Romeo Doubs, a mid-round gem, great value, and he still could be the wide receiver one. From what I was hearing in the offseason, that connection was building really well between Jordan Love and Romeo Doubs, so absolutely love this, okay? Number 3, cannot stop talking about this, cannot stop. Mid-round gem, fantasy football wide receiver sleeper, 93 overall, wide receiver 46, and he is the wide receiver one on his team. Now, people are going to disagree with me on this, but I like it. I like to fight on this because I'm getting this guy round 7 to 9, while the mainstream can sheeps this, and everybody else is telling you to draft the washed up wide receiver on this team in Keenan Allen round 3. So the guy I'm talking about is Quentin Johnston. He was drafted in the first round. Now, some people are saying, well, Joey's going to be Justin Herbert's guy next year or the year after. Why shouldn't they start building this year? He's going to be on the field a lot. If anything, Keenan Allen's going to be running the slot. Yes, he's got that rapport with Justin Herbert, but Justin Herbert, like I said, throws a lot, second in passing attempts last year, even though his wide receiver core is banged up. Quentin Johnston, I just cannot stop talking about him. There's a chance that he could bust, but at the end of the day, this is the wide receiver one. He is the immense value. He is the guy that he is the future on the Chargers team. He was drafted in the first round, guys. And again, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, they're older, they're washed up. Years to wow us, we're not really wow. They're not spectacular, and they get hurt a lot. So give me Quentin Johnston as a mid-round gem. And again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Probably your first time hearing this if you're brand new. And I know a lot of people that you just don't watch fantasy all season long. We go year-round, by the way. Just dive into this show now, and you're just hearing this for the first time. I implore you, just grab Quentin Johnston on your roster. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Keenan Allen's going to break his leg by week 2, and he's old as dirt. Old as dirt. That guy has no business still being in the NFL. He's on his 14th season. Move out of the way. Let the young guy go through in Quentin Johnston, okay? I got 2 more amazing players here. Before I do, grab the 16-round draft session. Use code SMASH to save. I've linked it below. It has all the answers for you. Wind's picking up here, guys. Beautiful sunny day on the Sunday again. Grab the 16-round draft session. And of course, join the Patreon group, patreon.com/FF Council. Join the Fantasy Frontlines for in-season. We go all year round, but mainly in-season. Waiver wire, starts and sits, optimal DFS plays, amazing community, and direct access. Patreon.com/FF Council. I've linked it below, all right? Next guy here, absolutely love. Again, thumbs up as well. Help the channel. Next guy I love is a gem. Sitting as wide receiver 36, which is crazy, is Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison could be the wide receiver one on his team. I say, Joe, he'll never pass Jefferson. Well, I'm not wishing injury, but understand, Jefferson's been perfect for the past couple years. Almost too perfect, okay? And again, he's probably the safest player to draft. And I understand why. But Addison was drafted in the first round. He's going to be used, right? Thielen is shipped off, and this guy is very good. And you got Jordan Addison who's coming in. They got Hawkinson. Listen, I still think he gets fair share of targets, and especially with Jefferson now on everybody's radar, seeing double coverage, it's going to open things up for Addison. And again, I'm not saying or wishing injury on Jefferson, but he's been perfect for so long. Maybe, just maybe, what goes up does come down. We saw it with Cooper Kupp last year. And if that's the case, Jordan Addison is in a prime position to be the wide receiver one there on the team. And he's great value. I think he's going to be safe. I think he's going to be consistent. Obviously, if Jefferson does stay healthy the entire season, he's going to be the one. But you have to look at the opportunity here, and you have to look at the safe floor in Jordan Addison, which I see a 6-touchdown, 800 receiving yard season as a floor. And he's going to get a ton of receptions on top of that, okay? Jordan Addison is going to see some volume, going to see some targets, like him a lot. Not as much as I like the upside of a Quentin Johnston, but he has a safer floor, I feel, than Quentin Johnston. If things don't go Quentin Johnston's way, I think Addison has a safer floor, if that makes sense to you guys, all right? Last guy here, and again, I got a bonus one here at the end, but the last guy here, RB26, guys, RB26, he's ready to go. Javonte Williams. This has to be and should be Javonte Williams' season. Improved offense, guys, this year. They have to get it done. I was watching preseason week 2, and Russell Wilson was actually running the ball. He was actually looking like Russell Wilson of the heyday, the old day, right? Where he was on the Seahawks. Looked pretty good. Javonte Williams, 3 rushes, 12 yards. He had a bunch of, what do you have, 4 yards per carry, not the greatest. Listen, it wasn't the greatest, but he was getting the volume. He had the 4 receptions, okay? He's sitting as RB26, okay? Loving Javonte Williams here. Like I said, Javonte Williams in his second, he came out, I don't think he played preseason week 1, but in his second preseason game, 3 rushes, 12 yards, and 4 yards per carry. Again, not that impressive. Sitting as RB26, and he had the 4 receptions. So he's getting that volume in preseason. I think it's just going to be an improved offense. I think Javonte Williams has the opportunity to shine this year, get a ton of volume. Last time he played really well, the full season, it was 203 attempts, split it with Melvin Gordon, 4 touchdowns. That's going to go up. The injury should be past the injury now. He's ready to go. He's off the PUP list. He's going to start week 1. And what we saw in preseason week 2, he's going to get the volume. He's going to get the opportunity. So a mid-round gem as your RB 3 to 4. Why not? You're still getting an RB 1. That is some major upside, Javonte Williams, okay? Bonus one here. I think I already talked about him, is Deuce Vaughn briefly at the beginning. This guy has the opportunity to shine. He's like a bulldog. He makes you miss. He's small. He's compact, strong. He had more scrimmage yards last year or in college over the past, I think it was 2021 or something like that, more than Bijay and Robinson. Listen, this guy, Deuce Vaughn, small. I was talking about him in May. Super small, super compact, super solid flex play. I'm not really sold on Pollard carrying the load, but I really feel that Deuce Vaughn could be a valuable stash, and he's coming off rounds 14 and 15 where he's going undrafted before preseason. So a lot of people are going to want to scoop him up later. Make sure he's on your roster, okay? Deuce Vaughn. And again, I talked about him as well at the beginning here briefly. Jalen Hyatt, another guy that could be the wide receiver 1 on his team, was drafted in the 3rd round. Giants don't have a good wide receiver option. Make sure you draft Jalen Hyatt, who's also kind of rumored to be a one-trick pony. Keep that in the back of your mind when you're drafting him, but tons of upside, okay? Drake London, Romeo DOUBS, Quentin Johnston, absolutely love him. Jordan Addison and Javonte Williams. Some 5 mid-round gems and 5 fantasy football sleepers you should be targeting this year. Go dominate your drafts, grab 16 rounds, smash the thumbs up. I'll see you guys next video. I'm going to keep the content rolling from now until the end of draft season and throughout the year, throughout the entire season. Subscribe, thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the front lines of the Patreon group. I'm out.